So then, how do we name chords? We're going to get a bit deeper into the weeds in a moment with sound and how things want to resolve, thanks to a question from Ricky, and I'll go to that in a few moments. But how do we name a chord? Well, a chord is named based upon the key that it's being played in. So, for instance, if we were to start on middle C, which is a common one, if the key of the piece we're playing is in C, it means that we're going to C major. We're going to use all of these white notes. In fact, all the white notes up the keyboard. Now, how do we play a C major chord? Well, the C major chord is 1, 3, and 5. And we can see there on the screen, hopefully I'll show it in the edit, that we've got chords as well, which is pretty awesome. C. Now, if we change some of these notes around, perhaps play the C, the F, and the G, this is called something different. It's a suspended fourths, so a sus fourth. And then come back down. If we play the D there as well, we see that it's a suspended second. So the question that brought all this about was, how do we go ahead and name a chord that was this? I'll show you what the question was briefly.
Okay, so I'm over at the computer again, and thanks, Ricky, for this great question, because it really got me thinking about what and how we actually go ahead naming chords in the first place. So which note to choose as the name of the chord itself? Now, I've actually misunderstood what he's got here. He's showing here that we've got a C, an E, and a G, which is obviously the C major. But if you're just playing the E and the G, yes, that starts to be an E minor if that's your root note that you're playing on. That's absolutely fine. Now we got this question: how do you name this 4-chord note like below? Now I've just misseen this as I'm looking at. I've just seen the C, the F, and the A, and just immediately thought, oh, it's an inverted F chord. So sorry for getting that wrong initially, but actually when looking at it, I did then re-trigger after I'd answered the question that wasn't asked. It's actually a C, an F, a G, and an A. So it could be quite discordant the first time you play it because it's got a load of notes bunched up together. That's something we can talk about, closed voicing versus open voicing. Different video, different time. But anyway, I went through with an F major with a C bass because it was an inversion. However, when I read that, I misread the image, whatever. And then we go through the various namings that go on when it comes to chords, because you can name a chord more than one thing. Oh, and before we go back to the piano, if you are interested in making music for games, this is a complete beginner's course. I'll make sure I'll put a link in the description below. Anyway, back to the piano.
Okay, so we're back at the piano. And what we need to do is, these are the notes. So we've got the C, we got the F, and then we've got these 3 notes together. And you can see on my software, it says it's an F major add 2. With a C as its bass. So it's saying that it's this chord, the F major, add a 2. It's not just playing the 2, it's adding the second. And then we've got a C on the bass. So we're taking it up this C and playing it lower down. You could also call it the second inversion of it. So inversions, by the way, quick segue here. Inversions would be F, A, and C, and then we play the first inversion. So we take it and play the F up top, and then we take the A and play that up top here. So we've got kind of a second inversion of that. Now this, to me, sounds like it wants to resolve somewhere a bit differently. So if I play it back down here again, it feels to me like this wants to resolve downwards. So I wouldn't call this an F major add 2 with a C at the bass. I'd actually call it a suspended 4th C major with an added 6th. So if we play that, we see it's a major 6th, and if we play that, we see it's a major 6th again. So the software here, I think, is lying to us. Maybe technically, and I don't think it's lying, so to speak. It's just one way of naming that chord. So here, I think this wants to resolve down to here. So I'm going to call it a C sus4 add 6, because I feel like it wants to resolve down there. If we play a little thing, and I think that's because the C in the bass. If we start playing around with those inversions again, let's say move the A down here, that sounds different to me. In fact, that sounds like it wants to resolve to the F instead, like it's a suspended second. but with F. Now, I'm just going to change the sounds a little because one of the things when I was playing around with this, I thought was funny in my own little way, was if I go and grab Flex, which is actually built into FL Studio, and go find our pianos and add the 080s piano, we've got ourselves some 80s cheese here. And I'm not going to sing for you today. Maybe one day in the future, but not today. But that's definitely an 80s ballad right there. So I think the main point here really is that when you're dealing with chords and the naming of chords, it's really how they're being used, not technically what the notes are. And being able to resolve it to somewhere else makes it feel to me like a different chord. Anyway, that's it for this short video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, if you've liked it, please like the video and subscribe to see more of these little bits of music. Take care. Bye.